This is a demonstration of Vitaracharts for Thoughtspot. So Vitaracharts is a plugin that adds additional charts and features for Thoughtspot. We have over 20 charts that are unique and can be easily used to plug and play the visualizations and enhance the available options inside Thoughtspot. This is a completely zero coding effort, so the visuals are fully plug and play. There are also easy licensing options depending on kind of the environment size that you're working with, and it comes with full technical support and maintenance. So what this means is whenever you are upgrading or using new versions of Thoughtspot, we will ensure that the new versions as well as the backward compatibility with the older versions is maintained, so you have a very seamless experience with using these charts. These are 20 unique charts that we offer in Thoughtspot. So without much delay, let's jump into the demo. Now, as you see here, this is a live board built on Thoughtspot, and you have a variety of options that you are able to see. You have the fundamental charts, which are the line chart, bar chart, etc. The reason we have these options is because we have many unique and special features that enhance the usability and interactivity of these basic charts. We'll walk through that. We also have a set of charts focused on leveraging and showcasing your KPIs better. We'll walk through those, and we also have charts which are more focused on interesting elements, whether it's a waffle chart, a pictograph, things of that nature, where you can use some fun elements like custom markers, images, etc. within the chart. So we'll walk through those also. And last but not least, we will showcase the grid with many advanced features like inserting grid inside a grid, pivoting, adding deltas, having micro charts inside grids, and so forth. So let's start off with our basic charts. So your bar charts and line charts and area charts form a bulk of your reporting. So most of the time there's a big requirement for making these charts much more interactive. So as you can see here, we have something called the play axis. This is available for all our basic charts. The configuration is super simple. You just drag and drop items into the play work zone that we have for our charts, and it immediately starts to animate the charts. We are showcasing this with column charts, but the same play axis is available across the board for our line charts, our bar charts, column charts, bubble charts, etc. We also have a variation here where we are able to do pattern fill, but in addition to that, we are showcasing a plot line. So you can see how above the plot line and below the plot line items landing can be colored to showcase how they're doing against the business. Similarly, if you have targets that you're working against and you want to showcase that, this is a third variation where you have column charts, but they're overlaying one on top of the other, and you're able to showcase attainment against target, attainments against last year data, etc. So it gives you a nice lipstick chart kind of an impact here. If we go to our bar charts, we have multiple variations here as well. So in all our bar charts or column charts, the features that we are showing, some of them like the play animation or custom labeling or usage of custom markers, these are all common. So regardless of the type of chart that we are showcasing now, you will be able to see that these will apply across the board, right? So what we are trying to show is different charts that are considered basic charts that we leverage in your environment most of the time. This is a funnel chart, so you're seeing various stages and how that is performing from a sales perspective. If you want to add some custom labels to this, you can go click the edit button that Vitara offers, go into the data labels section, and you have the option to have both value and then maybe the percentage calculation of the value, or what category it represents, which stage it is, or any additional kind of data that you want to add can be leveraged and added over here. We can quickly jump to a few other charts on the basic charts section. So on all our basic charts like the bar charts and the column charts, the first question that comes up when you are comparing this year versus last year data, or let's say this year versus target data, is what is the difference between this year and last year. So in the same chart, you have an opportunity to add delta and variance bars. So this is a single chart, and what we have done here is by using the edit option, we are turning on or turning off additional items. So you go into the edit button, click on the bar, and you have the option to show the variance and the relative variance, which is the delta and the percentage delta. So when you have two metrics, be it target, be it last year data, be it any kind of a benchmark information, you can calculate the variance and the delta variance and show it in the same chart. So that can be done for both your bars as well as your column charts. Even in stacked bar columns or combination charts, there are a few requirements that keep coming up. So I'd like to kind of showcase those. These are related to either formatting them or adding extra labels, like maybe a total label or any kind of custom label, adding these threshold and background colors. All these types of things are feasible with Vitaracharts. As you can see here, we are doing a total label on the stacked column. So if you explore this, you can also add a custom label for the individual pieces. So we'll just go into the data labels section and say show me the maximum labels in addition to the total. So now you can see what the maximum labels look like along with the total. Let's say you want to also format the total label differently. You can go in, select the total label and say, you know what, I want to bold this, and I also want to maybe increase the font size, and then click apply. And that does the bold, and then you can add some text here to say total. So static values, static messages can also be applied on top of your charts. As you can see here, we are conditionally displaying the maximum value, and we are adding total label to it. So customized data labels can be created and used like this. These are pretty useful if you are trying to showcase data that is not there in the chart. So for example, you are trying to show last year's data, you are only charting current year data, but last year data wants to be displayed on the label. You can do that as well. So things that are not charted can also be showcased. Same basic charts can also be used as a trellis, so they get repeated. So you can repeat the chart. This is a combination of an existing chart, which is line chart or area chart, combined with bars, and then we are also using small multiples to repeat the chart. We are fairly flexible with the combination charts as well. So it's not like a simple only line chart can be combined with the bar chart. You can actually create an infinite number of combinations. So if you are seeing this one, let me show you. You have these different sections where you have the small multiples, the play axis, what have you. So you can either move something easily to the play axis, if that makes sense, or you can completely remove it and hit apply. So now you have an aggregate of all information in the combination chart as well. You can configure this. So you can go into the series, and the first one is a column chart, the second one is an area chart. You can go ahead and modify the area chart, and let's say you can make this into another column chart and hit apply. So now you see two column charts and one area chart. So any combination of columns, areas, lines and bars can be created, in addition to customized data markers as well. So in other than having the area chart, if you want, you can change that into a data marker and then click apply. So the area chart now gets transformed into markers, right? So this is a very flexible kind of option where infinite number of combination charts can be created. So this covers some of the fundamental charts. We've shown ability to do background colors, customized labels. I think the other one that we'd like to show here is the ability to do custom markers. So we've seen a little bit of that in the combination chart, but I'd like to show a few other variations. Here we are replacing the bar chart with a custom marker. So very simply, we've taken a bar chart and every part of that bar chart has been replaced with a custom marker. Here you are inserting like brick type effect. Earlier we have seen a slash effect. Here we are inserting a customized symbol. So any of these kinds of images, you can upload them and you can use them inside your charts as well. And the same thing is also available on the grids. So if you're inside a grid and you're trying to say work with customer satisfaction scores, any kind of data involving employee ratings and things of that nature, you want to embed stars or symbols inside the grid. So we have this option where you can take a grid, you can change the display style and apply custom markers to it. So here we have chosen the star symbol, but we give a variety of symbol options, or you can use your own customized SVG files as well to create this kind of a embedded symbols inside the grid. Since we are at the grid level, let's see a few more options in the grid. So multiple variations can be created inside the grid. You can create microcharts like bars and lines and bullets. Let me show you some options there, and we'll also talk through kind of grouping and pivoting options. So one is you can create this kind of a hierarchy, drill down kind of a hierarchy. It can be done both for vertical kind of grouping that I'm showing right now, or horizontal groups. So if you want to create groups of metrics, like right click and create a group of columns together, just like Excel, you can put a bunch of columns together so that it helps you manage the available space. So if you have a variety of metrics or a huge number of metrics displayed, then this will help you kind of control that, and then you can expand or collapse depending on your situation. You can also move things around just like Excel, so you can move around your dimensions and your metrics and mix them up, and have a very kind of flexible and customizable display option with your end users. Last but not least, this is an important kind of option, especially if you're working with any kind of financial data, ability to embed grids inside the cell. So if you have a bar, if you have like a sales data and you were wanting to show against benchmark data and last year data how it was doing, so right, last year target, last year profit, and current year sales, we are able to embed grids inside cells and kind of repeat that. So it's fantastic for showing any kind of formalized financial reports type thing that you're creating for your users. Super simple. All of this is accessible from the editor here, and then you can customize this. I'm showing only 2 rows, but you can create as many rows as you want here. So there's no restriction in terms of the number of rows that you would be putting together to kind of make this happen. You can do background colors, you can do thresholds, you can do traffic lights. Any images can be inserted into the grid itself. I think one other thing that I would like to show is the delta and variance. We saw that with the bar chart, so the same concept applies here as well. So even within a regular table, this is a very common use case where we are doing current performance and past period performance. And the first question is, what is my growth and what is my percentage growth? So you can simply right click, change the display style, and do that as a horizontal bar. And for percentages, you can do change display style and horizontal pins. So bars and pins, and automatically we color the positive values in green and negatives in red. This can be customized. So you can go in here, you can change the options so that positive can be blue instead of green, and hit apply. So it's super simple to kind of change those types of configurations inside the grid as well. So this gives you a really good picture of current and past year performances. So this is a summary of the basic fundamental charts, the enhanced features inside the basic charts, and kind of the grid chart and its variations. Now we will be jumping into a few of the KPI charts as well as interesting charts that can be used inside Thoughtspot leveraging Vitaracharts. So as we kind of jump into the KPI charts, I think the most common asked request is the gauge. We have a couple of different variations of the gauge. Let me show you the animated gauge version first, because super intuitive and easy to read. It's just the level of the water is proportional to the attainment that you have. It shows the exact same thing. How are you doing against 100%? The gauges below do the exact same thing. They also show attainment against values, but from a readability standpoint, if you are doing something super simple for a very large audience, something on the top would work. If you are going against specific metrics, you also want to add additional detail, the bottom gauge would work. We also have progress chart. I find this super useful if you're trying to attain against 100%. This is actually a modification of our existing bar chart. So all we have done is used a bar chart at 100%, and there is an overlay bar which is showing how much percentage attainment, and that has been converted into a marker. So the shape of these markers can be changed from a circle to a triangle to anything that makes sense. So this gives you a great view of how things are going against target, right? It's like how are your top 10 performers, how are they doing against their target. I'm also using thresholds, so you see that the markers are colored from green to red. So dynamic thresholding can also be enabled like that. In addition to the gauges, we also have this chart called as a butterfly chart or a tornado chart. So if your users are coming from a Power BI or a Tableau perspective, these are popular charts there. In this scenario, it's quite straightforward. You are able to see on both sides of the axis the current and past performance, and it gives you a bird's eye view of how you're doing this year versus last year, or this period versus last period. We have, in addition to these, we have some interesting chart types, let's say called as a waffle chart. This one is very good replacement for the pie chart. So in the pie chart, you tend to show percentage to total, how you're doing against overall, what is your contribution. The grid waffle is the perfect replacement for a percentage to total. You will see here that we are using a standard 10 by 10 grid. The display is very clear. So if you had to put like a 34% and a 36% on a pie chart, they would be virtually indistinguishable. Here you are able to just put them side by side, and the visual clarity is immense, and at a glance users can say it's super popular for displaying your user base. If you are trying to see age groups, income groups, gender, different products contributing to your company revenue, how much each region is taking the load for the overall revenue, things like that, this chart is a great replacement. If you're trying to analyze your human resources, all your employees, what category of employees they fall into, etc., this kind of a waffle can be done. A list waffle is another option, where you take the same waffle types but you are able to do it list, and in each case you can also create custom shapes and leverage those. The custom shapes are available by default in Vitara, but addition to the default shapes, you can upload and use your own marker types as well. A few other kind of interesting charts that come to mind is the dumbbell chart. This can also be used for basic kind of KPI analysis. I like to use it for this year versus last year comparisons, because not only does it show this year versus last year, it shows the growth or decline in the business as well. So we auto calculate the difference between this year, last year, and display that as a percentage change, as you can see that here. So I find this super useful, and the size of the dumbbell chart, the colors, the configuration, and all of that is very adjustable, right? So the dumbbell chart is another popular option that we have out there. If you're trying to display things like change of rank over time, or you want to display change of sales and percentage drops and declines over time, the Vitara slope chart is a great example for that. So here it's a little bit different from the line chart, in the sense the line chart only calculates in smooth lines, and it showcases the individual values. The slope chart doesn't showcase the curves so much as the drop percentages. So just like in the dumbbell chart, we were calculating and showing the percentage change, and either it's a growth or a decline. Here also you can mark that across points, and you can mark both the values as well as the percentage changes. So let me just kind of turn on the value and the percentage so you can see that. So here we are showing different values and percentage changes. So it's combining two charts into one. And while it's not the prettiest of charts, it contains a ton of information which a lot of people find useful while looking at their company's data or information, right? So this kind of gives you a picture. Certainly we haven't covered every single option out there with Vitara charts, but I hope this gives you a glimpse of the possible options that Vitara charts provides as far as examples are concerned for Thoughtspot, these are available on our website. So if you are looking for a trial or additional demonstrations, you can go to vitaracharts.com and you can go to the Thoughtspot page, or you can contact us to get further details on what are the charts in offer, get a free trial, explore it in more detail in your environment. Thank you.